What's up, guys? Got something here for you today, a little bit different from the norm. I kind of realised in a stream the other day that I had never done a doubles battle in 5th gen, and aside from your usual VGC stuff, I'd never actually seen a 5th gen doubles battle, just 6 on 6. So I thought, you know what? Who wants a doubles battle? I think someone suggested it in the stream, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Might as well do a doubles battle, and this is the game that turned out to happen. I kind of just threw 6 things onto a team, thinking with the kind of a general strategy in mind, but nothing too major. Basically, Mesprit with the Trick Room and with Clan Pearl. Obviously, Trick Room plus Clan Pearl is a good idea. So that's basically what I decided to go with. I also haven't sped the video up because with it being doubles, there's a lot to talk about. So yeah. Anyway, getting straight into it, he fucking just psychs me out on the first turn. He had a Zorok, and that was very smart of him to carry it, because in doubles, obviously, you can kind of bluff 2 things at once, and you really don't have no idea what's going to happen. So kind of increases Zorok's usability and smacks my Mesprit with a Night Daze. Luckily, I live it because I'm very bulkily invested. But unfortunately here, the Rotom's also going to be scarfed, and it's going to trick my Clan Pearl. It's actually Specs, sorry. It's going to trick my Clan Pearl to Specs, which is generally would be a good thing. The only problem is that Clan Pearl is more powerful without specs. It's more powerful with a Deep Sea Tooth, which is slightly frustrating. But of course, obviously, I thought the Flygon was a Flygon, so I Ice Beamed it. And it turns out I still kill the Zorok with the Choice Specs Ice Beam anyway, so it doesn't make a big difference. And finally, Mesprit gets up the Trick Room. If you didn't know, Trick Room is negative priority, so it will always go last. So that's why Mesprit obviously went after Clan Pearl. But now I'm obviously a lot faster than both his guys with Clan Pearl. At least I thought I was. It turns out his Dusclops is actually slower than my Clan Pearl, so he's going to go first in the Trick Room, and he's going to lay a Curse, I believe, onto my Clan Pearl. So slightly annoying. Elo set with the Dusclops, he uses that quite often, so I knew what it did, basically. Only issue is, I am locked into Ice Beam. Obviously, I don't want to be Ice Beaming Heat Form Rotom, so I'm going to try and Ice Beam the Dusclops. To not much avail, it doesn't do a great significant amount, and I don't know, he kind of kills my Clan Pearl, so I don't see the point of him using Curse there. He kind of just got rid of half his HP for no reason when he could have just Volt Switched on Clan Pearl anyway, but I don't know, each to their own. I do, of course, have a trick with my Mesprit, and I'm going to use it here because I just want to get rid of that Eviolite on the Dusclops. It'll be a bit annoying. And another thing I can do is I can use the Eviolite and give it to Milotic and take Milotic's leftovers away. So I can kind of cripple both walls with the same move, just kind of swapping items around. And I go to my Jellicent here, which is actually an offensive Jellicent, which carries Energy Ball and does a decent amount, I guess, to the Milotic. Nothing too special. But, obviously I lack Stab, and I guess Jellicent's special attack isn't great, but that's what happens. It doesn't do a significant chunk, and so I kind of get disappointed by that. And I'm like, well, now I'm toxic, so now Water Spout isn't going to be as useful. And things aren't looking too great, I guess. The good thing is, obviously, his Dusclops doesn't have Eviolite anymore, and his Milotic doesn't have leftovers, because I just tricked the Milotic Eviolite, if you caught wind of that. But there you go, I do get Toxic by the Milotic, and Nightshade is going to finish off Mesprit. So now I kind of have a fresh thing to bring in, and I decide to bring in my Goat. Probably the best thing I have to combat these two guys at the current moment. Only thing I kind of forget about is, of course, Trick Room is up, so I probably should have gone to something slower. I don't think I actually had anything slower than this to go to, though, so it didn't really work out in that aspect. I only had a few slow guys, and the rest were fast, so I hit a Water Spout and take out the Dusclops. Obviously, Water Spout's going to hit both the pokes, but Dusclops is at such low HP, it's going to be taken out. And obviously, a Milotic resists the water move, and it's halved in power, essentially, because when you use a move that hits 2 things in doubles, it reduces its power. Basically, it's not at full power. So that's why, I guess, it didn't do very much. But at least Dusclops is out of the way. And it also is very nice because the Milotic takes a chance to recover, leaving my Goat with the opportunity to set up a substitute. Now, I don't actually have Swords Dance on this Goat. I think I'm just sort of hit things with 3 moves sub attack thing. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm just going to smack Sacred Swords around the place. And he kind of goes into Rotom, I guess, forgetting about Trick Room, forgetting about the fact that obviously Jellicent still has a pretty powerful Water Spout in its arsenal, and is able to, take that thing out in one hit. barely scratches the Militic, but hey, at least Rotom Heat is gone, that thing is out the way, and not going to be an issue for me anymore, so fantastic in that scenario. So I'm going to go Sacred Sword on the Militic, looking a lot better now. I'm hoping maybe get off a couple more hits with Jellicent before it dies to Toxic, even maybe save it as death fodder for later, depending on what opportunities arise. Maybe I'll want to switch out, maybe I won't, it just kind of depends on the situation at hand. But, you know, lots of artifact effects going on, and Trick Room does end there. So now we know, obviously, that he's bringing Flygon. This thing is going to be outspeeding guys every which way now, because it's probably Choice Scarfed. And it is Choice Scarfed, and it has Fire Punch, which kind of surprises me. I don't know why he didn't go for the Earthquake. It really wouldn't have done a significant amount to his Militic. Even if it did, he could just recover it off anyway. So it didn't make much sense to me. Earthquake seemed the more obvious choice. It is Stab, and it would have hit both Jellicent and Cambalion. So I don't know why he didn't do that. But hey, that's what happens. A couple of things happen here. He scalds and gets the burn, which is very frustrating. And Jellicent obviously going for some Energy Ball. And here I hit it, the Militic, with a Sacred Sword before I got the burn, so I got a little bit of damage off on it. I mean, I hit a Flygon with Sacred Sword. God, too much confusion here with the nicknames. But yes, we're caught up, and yeah, I basically have two things that are status and on the brink of death at this point. So looks like I'm definitely not going to be able to be doing much on this turn. He's mainly just going to be taking me out, I think. That's what I believe anyway. He turns out to want to switch his Flygon out, though, and goes into Roserade, which I find kind of weird. I guess even though he knows, you know, he can take a Sacred Sword from Cambalion, he probably just wanted Roserade to resist it and take even less damage, which makes sense. Obviously, I am burned. It wouldn't do a lot because of that. Obviously, the resistance is there. So, you know, whatever. I actually decided to go for the Iron Head on Militic because I wanted to flinch the Militic and then allow Jellicent to kill it off with an Energy Ball, but it doesn't happen because, unfortunately, you know, I don't get the flinch, and Militic is able to recover its health back up to full, basically. But I did actually get the Energy Ball off. It doesn't obviously take it out, but it takes it down to a very low range. Point at which I can probably revenge kill it with whatever I bring in next. And this point, really on the brink of death. I'm very surprised that I'm not dead at this point. 9 HP burned and 9 HP poisoned. Yeah, pretty bad, I guess. I guess I have T-Wave on Cambalion for some reason. T-Wave Iron Head. Oh, that's the set. It's sub T-Wave Iron Head. That's what it is. Yes. Now I remember. All coming back to me now. But I think that, you know, I am the fastest thing on pitch. I might as well do something useful before I go. And I think that, you know, paralyzing Roserade is relatively useful. It's going to have to switch if it wants the Natural Cure activation. Obviously, I didn't want to give Militic Marvel Scale, so it made more sense to cripple the Roserade. And it allows me now to bring in my two last guys, which are Jumpluff and Dragonite. And I have a game plan here. What I want to do is use Jumpluff to put Militic to sleep, and then set up Dragon Dance with Dragonite. I know that Roserade probably wouldn't be able to do a lot to Dragonite, so I'm hoping, you know, get the Militic to sleep, and then be able to set up with Dragonite with Dragon Dances all day. Problem is, I miss Sleep Powder, and I go for the Dragon Dance. And so Militic is still awake, which means that Militic can still Ice Beam me whenever it wants to, because it's Militic. As you can see here, it Ice Beams the other thing, the Jumpluff, I guess because he wants to put my Dragonite to sleep with Roserade. And not only does he hit me Jumpluff, he also crits my Jumpluff. I know I could have lived that, because it's a Militic, it's unstabbed, and Jumpluff has, I mean, decent-ish bulk. But I die from a crit. So Jumpluff kind of got hacks to hell, missed Sleep Powder, and got critted. And then he hits his Sleep Powder. So now I'm like, well, giant nut-sacking balls, I'm pretty much screwed at this point. Because unless I wake up on the next turn, things are going to go south. Obviously, I can take an Ice Beam because I not only have Multiscale, I also have the Yachi. So that does a really stupidly disappointing amount for him. 247 HP, pointing that out. Hi, Bally. And, yeah, that was about it. Because I'm not waking up anytime soon. And he hits me with an Ice Beam, and I die. So that was a shame. I mean, you know, if I had woken up, I would have gone for the Outrage and taken out the Militic, and then consequently, his Roserade wouldn't have really been able to do anything to me, I don't think. So I should have been able to kill that with Outrage as well. But the Hacks God seemed to say, no, not today, Zed. We're not going to let you get away with it this time. So, they kind of screwed me over in the end. But hey, it was a lot of fun. It was fun for a first 5th gen doubles match. Definitely interesting stuff. I guess the doubles metagame is a lot more complex. Well, I wouldn't say it's more complex. There's just a lot more options available than the single player metagame. Singles, just the Wi-Fi singles thing anyway. Anyway, doubles is weird and stuff, but it's fun to try and mess around with time to time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then obviously you can leave a like below. That would help me out immensely. Otherwise, I hope you guys, looking forward to more E3 stuff this week, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.